Hello students, today our topic is HTML and in this lecture we are going to discuss some program related to HTML. In our previous lecture we already discussed some programs related to HTML and one of the program in HTML is related to formatting text in which different types of formattings are there. So first of all uh, let us revise all these tags related to formatting used in HTML. In HTML basically tags are divided into two basic categories, physical tags and logical tags. Basically, all formatting tags are divided into two basic categories, physical and logical. So when we say that physical tags, it simply means that they are browser independent and they basically impact on web page as they are. For example, B represent bold, I represent italic, TT represent typewriter, BIG represent big. So when we use B, that is indicate the text should be in bold. When we use I, that means indicate the text should be in italic. And when we use TT, that indicate that the text should be in the italic font such as a courier, and that allows the same width to each character. And next is big, which indicate the text should be displayed as a big font available HTML 3.0 or the higher version. Next is smaller, which indicate that the text should be displayed in a smaller font available, and it is also available HTML 3.0 and a higher version. So these are some physical tags available in HTML, and some another tags, physical tags that are available are SUB, which is represent subscript, which is already discussed in our previous video, and it is also available in 3.0 or higher. Next is SUP, which represents superscript, that indicates the text should be displayed in a superscript in a smaller font if possible, and it is also available in 3.0 or higher. And another is U, which represent underline text, and not all browsers supported the underline. So basically this indicates that the text should be displayed underlined. So these are some physical tags. So next is logical tags. Logical tags are basically browser dependent. So different browser shows them differently, that's why they are called the logical tags. Okay, so let us see some logical tags. You can use logical as well as physical in your web page. So logical tags are used to indicate to the visually impaired that there is some emphasis on the text, and each browser has its own technique as to how to indicate the viewer that the text between the text. So that is very important. So they are that's why they are called the browser dependent. So different browser represent them in a different manner. For example, Google Chrome shows it in a different manner. Internet Explorer shows maybe in a different manner. Okay, so these are some example of the logical text you can easily see on the screen. That is a table given of logical tags. Some important logical tags are there, and this question is also very important for the exam point of view, and so many number of times it is asked in examination that what is the difference between logical and physical tags. So one of the logical tags EM, which indicates the character should be emphasized in some way and usually displays it in italic. Next is strong, which emphasizes character more strongly than the EM, usually displays in the bold font. So basically, few students ask that, sir, what is the difference between the bold tag and the strong tag? So one of the major difference between the B tag or the bold tag and the strong tag is that B tag is a physical tag and strong tag is basically a logical tags. And as far as the impact is concerned, both displayed in the bold font. Uh, so indicate simply next is code. If you want to represent a code, for example a programming code, then we use a code formatting tag, or it is a logical tag. Basically it is represent in a Courier font or similar font that allows the same width to each character. Next is KBD. It is used to offset text that the user should enter, often displays in a Courier font. So KBD is also represent also in a Courier font. So KBD used to offset text that user should user should enter, often displayed in a Courier font or a similar font that allows the same width to each characters. Next is where. If we want to represent a variable, then VER, where formatting text is used, which basically indicate a variable often displays in italic or underline. Next is cite, which indicates shortcodes or citation, often italicized by the browser. So these are the different texts used for the different formatting texts used for the different purpose, and they are showed in a different manner, maybe in different manner by different browsers. So they are the browser dependent. So that is the difference, main difference between the physical and the logical text. If you use different browser, it may be possible that they behave differently, and they are used they have some specific purpose. For example, VER is used for represent variables if we write a mathematical equations. Okay, so these are used for different purpose. So you can use both physical as well as logical text in your program. Now till now we discuss some physical text and make some program basically related to physical text. You can use all of them in a single program, and you can use physical as well as logical in your program, and it basically depend on the user basically what type of setting he wants in his HTML program, or what is the demand of the program. For example, you represent if you want to represent definition or a particular word in a strong, in a bold manner, then you can use B tag, or you may use strong tag. One is basically a physical tag, physical formatting tag. Second is a logical formatting tag. Now second program is program number 5. We already done 4 program related to that, and today that is our second program number 5, HTML unordered list. So you can make program number 5 on the basis of physical as well as logical tags. So it is not possible for me to make a program on each and every tag. You can use all of them in a single program, and you can see the difference between the functionality of each and every tag. Now it is program of 5, and it is related to HTML unordered list. So basically it is related to list. First of all, we have to know that what is the meaning of the list, and how many types of lists are there in HTML. So if we want to represent our data items in a particular format or in a series, then we can use list, and list basically are of 3 types. These are unordered list, ordered list, and definition list. When we say that unordered list, that means we cannot give a number in any manner to the different list items. So that is called the unordered list, means there is no order at all. So we will just basically mark different data items, but not give any number or any alphabet to different data items. So first of all, unordered list basically represent by UL. U basically refers for unordered, and L for list. So UL is a tag used for unordered list, and different data items of the unordered list are represented by LI tag. So LI tag represent basically list items. Okay, so these are the tags used to represent unordered list, and they are used at the same time. And if you want to represent unordered list, so after the UL tag, you must use LI tag to represent different list items. So let us see what are the main points regarding to unordered HTML list. Now you can see here that there are the 2 statements here within the unordered HTML list. Okay, and one statement says that an unordered list start with the UL tag, and each item start with a LI tag. Second is that the item will be marked with a bullet by default. Now you can easily see that. In Word, I also represent these 2 in an unordered list item like this. Now, so this can also be represented in HTML programming also. So these are the marks by the bullets, unordered list items. Next, the main attribute that are used with unordered list is type attribute, and different types of bullets are there. By default, it is a disk, and you can use a square or circle. So if you don't use if you use a type, wait a minute, um, just see the program. First of all see this program. Now in this program, first of all, HTML program start with HTML, which is the root tag. After that head, then a title is there. Title says that HTML unordered list, which is basically the title of our web page. Then body tag begins, and then within the body tag we just create a unordered list. So we use UL tag, and within the UL tag we just mention a attribute type, and we just type is equal to square. If we don't mention any attribute, then by default the type of the list items are basically disk, but we here intentionally mention type is equal to square. So different list items are marked with square, and different list items are marked within li tag. You can easily see that 4 different items are there: beetroot, ginger, potato and radish. So these are the different items of a list, or we can say that unordered list. After that you can easily see that unordered list is closed, and then after body tag is closed, and then finally HTML tag is closed. So that is a simple program which implement the concept of unordered list, and the list item are represented by a square, because we use here the type attribute, and we just mentioned type is equal to square. We can use type is equal to circle, type is equal to disk, or type is equal to square. And if we don't mention any attribute, then by default type of the list items are disk. That is also a very important question. Now you can easily see that is the output. So it is our program here. Now I think it is clear to all of you. Simply a list, and that is the output. Then you can easily see that different data and different items of a list are represented by a square. This is a symbol of a square. You can see that you can change it by using by just giving the value type is equal to disk, or type is equal to circle. Okay, so these are the 3 different types. These are the 3 different um, values of type attribute: square, disk and circle. So you can mention UL type is equal to square, you can also mention UL type is equal to disk, and you can also mention UL type is equal to circle. And always mention values of square, disk and circle within the double quotation mark. Okay. Now I think it is clear visible to all of you. It is clearly visible to all of you. By default it is disk. Always remember that by default it is a disk. So if you don't mention any type attribute in a program, when you just create a unordered list, then by default it is a disk. So and different data items are represented by a disk. Now program number 6. Program number 6 basically belongs to the ordered list, and ordered list is just opposite to the unordered list, as the name suggests, ordered list. So first of all, for ordered list, OL tag is used, and different data items is again used with li tags. And by default order list items, or type of the order list items, are basically a number. I start with 1 2 3. So this is an example of ordered list. So I just make only a single change here. I just use OL in place of UL, and that's all things are same. So it will give you a clear idea how ordered list works. OL tag, so different 4 items are again there: beetroot, ginger, potato, radish. You can easily see the program. Same program is here, but only the one difference, and that difference is in terms of the OL tag. So in place of UL, I just use OL, means ordered list. So these are in basically ordered list represent different data items in a particular number format. By default they start from number 1. So now these 4 items represent like this: 1 beetroot, 2 ginger, 3 potato, 4 radish. Now we can use a type attribute also in case of OL tag, but When we talk about the type attribute, the type are different when we compare it with a UL tag. You can use okay, and you can also use start attribute. So these two attributes are used basically with the OL tag. Now when you just use OL type is equal to 1, it simply means that uh, different list items start with numbers. Okay, and when you just use OL type is equal to I, capital I, then it simply means that um, Roman upper case numerals are there. When you use small I, then Roman lowercase numerals are there. And when you use capital A, that means uh, uh, list items start with alphabet capital A. When you use just small a, then all list items are start with small a letters. So these are the different types of numbers that we can provide to our list items. And second thing is, by default they are start with the first value. It means if you use just 1, then all counting is always start with 1. And when you use just a, capital A, then counting start from A and goes from, and after that B, C, D, and this type of numbering are there. But if you want to change the numbering, then there is an attribute named start attribute. You can use start attribute in a program. So name of the attribute first of all is start, and you can, and the most important thing regarding to start attribute is we always mention a number to we always mention a number with start attribute, like that start is equal to 4, whether it is a number, whether it is a Roman letter, or whether it is a alphabet. We always give the value of a start in terms of a number. For example, if you just write OL type is equal to 1, start is equal to 4, it simply means that your counting start with number 4. And when you just use OL type is equal to I and start with 4, then your counting start with uh, uh, 4th, means in Roman letter 4. And if you just write type is equal to A, start is equal to 4, then number is start from D, because fourth character is D. Okay, so this is a very important point. You can use start attribute also with order list, and we give always a number value to start attribute. And one more important question regarding to the start attribute. There are only 26 characters in English alphabets, and if we give start is equal to 27, then uh, counting start from double A, then AB, then AC, something like that. Okay, so now you can see the program here which use type and start attribute, both type of attribute in a single program. It will give you a clear idea how they works. So it is the second part of this program. So same program here, but I just use type and start attribute in this program. And one thing is also very important: if you want to use more than two attributes in your program, then just write one after another without any comma sign. So I just use type is equal to I, and then in space, then start is equal to 4. The two types of attributes are used with ordered list, in which that is clearly mentioned that type is equal to I means Roman letters are there, small Roman letters are there, and counting start with fourth letter. And list items are beetroot, ginger, potato, and radish. These are the different list items. Now, after the execution of the program, you can easily see that. Now, look at this line. That is a very important line. OL type is equal to I, start is equal to 4. I just use both of the attributes with the OL tag here. Now this is the output. After the execution of the program, you can easily say counting start from fourth, 1 4, fourth letter, fourth Roman letter. Okay. Next is definition list. This is program number 7. So as the name suggests, definition list. If you want to describe a term, then you use a definition list, and sometimes it is also called as a description list. So description list and definition list, both terms are same. And the tag which is used to describe a definition list is basically a DL. And the other term which are used with the DL are DT, DD. These are the two different terms that are used with the DL tag. Without this, DL list is incomplete. So if you want to describe any term, first of all that term should be mentioned. After that, that description should be there. So to represent a definition, a term and the description of the term should be there, and that is represented by a definition list. So for this purpose there is a tag DL, so we just use DL, which indicate that that is the definition list. After that we mention a term that is represented by a DT tag, and after that description should be there, so we use DD tag. So that are the some that and these all are the used to describe the definition list in a complete manner. First of all, DL, this represent definition list. Second is DT, which represent definition term. Second is DD, which means definition description. So DL defines the start of the list, DT basically a term, DD term definition, and after that we just close the DL tag. Now look at the program, which basically shows the use of definition list. That is a program here. So you can easily see that DL is there, which represent definition list. After that DT is there, which represent definition term. So definition term is HTML, and after that description of this term is there, which represent this stand for hypertext markup language, and another term is also represent HTTP, and description is also there with DD, which shows that this stands for hypertext transfer protocol. After that DL is closed. So basically there is a single definition list here in which two different terms are described. These terms are HTML and HTTP. So these two terms are described here. These terms are described here. Now you can easily see that I just gave a different color to represent different text. You can easily see that two different data, two terms are there, and description of these two terms are also there. First term is HTML, second term is HTTP, and these all are the parts of a definition list. So within a definition list we can define any number of terms using DT and DD. Here I just used to define two data terms, HTML and HTTP. So you can see the output. So after the execution of that program, you can see the output, and this defines basically the definition. Okay, you can see that after HTML there is some space, and then description of the term HTML is there. This shows that this is stand for hypertext markup language. After that term HTTP is also there, which says that this is stand for hypertext transfer protocol. So basically definition list describe the different terms using DT and DD tags. So if you want to describe or define any terms, you can use DT tag and DD tag. Now I think it is clear to all of you. Always remember that you can define any number of terms using DL, definition list tag. Now our next program number 8, which is nothing but only the concept of nested list. So you can define a list inside a list using nested HTML nested list concept, and you can define order list within an unordered list, and you can also define unordered list within ordered list. So first of all, I just give you a idea of this nested list. Let look at the first of the output. It will give you a clear idea what you want to do. This is the code here, okay, and that is the output. So look at the output. First of all, look at the output. You can easily see that different states are there, and that is a list of Indian states with their capitals. So different states are there: Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and capitals of these states are also mentioned. So it's like that: New Delhi, Chandigarh, okay, Gandhinagar, Jaipur, Mumbai, Lucknow. These are the capitals of different states, and we just implement this list by using nested list. You can easily say that states are represented by a number, and different capitals of different states are represented by a circle. So it is the example of a nested list in which we just create in which we just create a ordered list to represent different state, and unordered list to represent capitals. So now I think it is clear to all of you what we want to do, and it is simply implemented by using the concept of nested list. So we just define an order list, and within the order list we just define different data items using unordered list, different list item using unordered list. Now look at the code here. As we know that programs start with HTML, which is the root tag. After that head, then title should be there, which represent the web page title, and within the body tag we just write the content of the web page, and a paragraph is also there, which represents the list of the Indian state with their capital, because this should be also displayed. And after that, as you know that different capitals are represented by numbers, so we use an ordered list, okay. And ordered list, first item is represent as a first item is Delhi, so Delhi is basically a list item, and Delhi itself contain the capital also. So we just within the Delhi tag, within the Delhi item, we just give a unordered list, okay. And you can easily see that UL, and then LI items represent New Delhi. So what happens after the execution of that part of the program, that a creation of a order list is there, in which first item is Delhi, which is represented by a number, and then after capital of the Delhi should be represented by a disk, because by default list item are represented by another list item are represented by a disk. So New Delhi is a part. Delhi is the basically unordered list item and ordered list item, and New Delhi is the unordered list item, which is a part of Delhi. So second, you can easily see that unordered list item is Haryana, and unordered list item is Chandigarh. So Chandigarh is defined within the Haryana. So 1, and then disk Chandigarh should be displayed. After that, same manner Gujarat Gandhinagar will be displayed. Same manner Rajasthan Jaipur should be displayed. Rajasthan is item of ordered list, and Jaipur is the item of unordered list. After that, Maharashtra Mumbai should be displayed. Maharashtra is the item of list item of definition list. Order list, and Mumbai is the item of unordered list. After that, Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow should be displayed. So these are the different data items that will be displayed. And after the execution of the program, that is the output that will be displayed on screen. Here Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh are basically the items of the order list. So they are represented by the numbers. New Delhi, Chandigarh, Gandhinagar, Jaipur, Mumbai, Lucknow are the items of an order list. So they are represented by basically a disk. Okay, and these are defined within the order list. So this is an example of nested list. So these are some programs. So try to execute this program. It will give you a clear idea how HTML text works. Thanks for watching this video.